Imagine becoming so wealthy that simply passing through a country could crash its entire economy. Not by invading, not by stealing, not by starting a war, but by giving away too much gold. In the year 1324, one man traveled across Africa with a caravan so enormous that eyewitnesses struggled to believe it. Tens of thousands of people, hundreds of camels, each carrying mountains of gold. His name was Mansa Musa, the emperor of Mali, and history's richest person. His pilgrimage to Mecca became legendary. But along the way, he accidentally unleashed one of history's greatest economic disasters. This is the unbelievable story of how generosity became a financial catastrophe.
Long before Europe discovered the Americas, West Africa already possessed unimaginable wealth. The Mali Empire controlled some of the richest gold mines on Earth. At the time, gold wasn't simply valuable. It was the foundation of international trade. Coins, jewelry, kingdoms, entire economies depended upon it. Nearly half of the old world's gold may have originated from West Africa. At the center stood Mansa Musa. He inherited an empire that stretched thousands of kilometers across the Sahara. Cities flourished. Trade routes connected Africa with North Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. Merchants carried ivory, salt, books, silk, and above all, gold. Modern economists estimate that if Mansa Musa's wealth were converted into today's money, it would likely exceed $400 billion. Some historians believe even that figure understates his fortune. Unlike modern billionaires, his wealth came from controlling the world's primary source of gold itself. And then, he decided to perform one of Islam's greatest obligations.
The pilgrimage to Mecca. Little did anyone know, this spiritual journey would shake the economy of an entire region. This wasn't an ordinary pilgrimage. It looked more like an empire on the move. Contemporary Arab chroniclers described an astonishing procession. Around 60,000 people, thousands of attendants, royal guards carrying spears, officials, scholars, musicians, and hundreds of camels. Each camel reportedly carried roughly 300 pounds, or about 136 kilograms, of pure gold dust. Imagine standing in the desert, watching a golden river of humanity stretch beyond the horizon. The caravan required enormous supplies: food, water, livestock, tents, engineers, doctors. Every stop transformed into a temporary city. As they traveled north across the Sahara, local villages had never witnessed such magnificence. Children watched in amazement. Merchants abandoned their shops. Entire towns gathered simply to see the emperor pass by. Word spread ahead of the caravan. The richest man alive is coming. No one could have imagined what would happen next. When Mansa Musa entered Cairo, the city stood among the greatest centers of learning and commerce in the world. Its markets overflowed with spices, textiles, books, and precious metals. The Sultan welcomed the emperor with great honor. Then, Mansa Musa began giving away gold. Lots of it. He rewarded officials, helped the poor, bought expensive gifts,
paid merchants generously, purchased supplies without bargaining. Some accounts even describe servants casually handing out gold coins in the streets. To Mansa Musa, this was an act of generosity. To Cairo's citizens, it seemed like endless prosperity. People celebrated. Merchants became richer overnight. Gold flooded the markets. No one complained. At first. Because the problem wasn't the amount of wealth. It was the amount of gold itself.
Economies operate on scarcity. Gold held value because it was relatively rare. But Mansa Musa had suddenly released enormous quantities of gold into Egypt. When something becomes far more abundant, its value usually falls. Imagine if diamonds suddenly became as common as pebbles. Their price would collapse. The same thing happened with gold. As its value declined, prices rose. Merchants demanded more gold for the same goods. Savings lost purchasing power. Contracts became unstable. Trade became unpredictable. Modern economists call this inflation. Although medieval economies functioned differently than today's, the basic principle remained the same. Too much money chasing the same amount of goods. According to the famous historian Al-Makrizi, Egypt suffered economic disruption for years after
Mansa Musa's visit. Some historians estimate the effects lingered for more than a decade. Ironically, the richest man alive had unintentionally made everyone else's gold less valuable.
Eventually, Mansa Musa realized what had happened. On his return journey, he reportedly attempted something extraordinary. He borrowed large quantities of gold from moneylenders in Cairo, not because he needed money, but because removing gold from circulation might restore its value. Some economic historians believe this became one of history's earliest recorded attempts at monetary intervention. It helped, but only partially. The market had already changed. Confidence had already shifted. The damage couldn't be undone overnight.
News of Mansa Musa spread across continents. European cartographers placed him prominently on maps holding an enormous piece of gold. To Europeans, his empire seemed almost mythical. Stories of limitless African wealth inspired explorers, traders, and eventually centuries of foreign interest in West Africa. His pilgrimage transformed Mali into one of the most famous kingdoms on earth. It also reshaped global perceptions of Africa, not as an unknown land, but as one of extraordinary prosperity. Mansa Musa never intended to harm Egypt. His generosity came from genuine faith, royal tradition, and immense wealth. Yet history teaches a remarkable lesson. Even the greatest fortune can create unintended consequences. His journey became more than a pilgrimage. It became an economic case study, centuries before economists fully understood inflation. Today, Mansa Musa remains remembered not only as the richest individual in history, but as the king whose generosity became powerful enough to shake an entire economy. Sometimes having too much wealth can be just as dangerous as having too little. If you enjoyed this incredible true story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and join us for more unbelievable moments from history. Because history is often stranger than fiction.